Hey, g'day guys. Welcome once again to Diversworld here in Cairns in tropical, rainy North Queensland. Today we've had a bit of downtime, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about masks, which mask I use, and the advantages of different masks for different applications. As you might know, I'm quite an avid freediver and spearfisherman in the local area, and I like to travel around the world as well for this passion. So I'll show you the mask I use, and then I'll explain why and sort of other masks on the market and advantages or possibly disadvantages for certain applications. So for me, I can't go past the Aqualung the Micro mask, okay, or the Technisub Micro mask. I've been using this mask since 2012 and 2019 now. It's still my mask of choice. Maybe I'm just stubborn. It's a very low volume mask, and when we talk about volumes in masks, basically we're comparing the airspace basically when it's on our face. So the lower the volume, as we descend or go down, we don't need to add as much air to the mask to compensate as it pushes on our face. So obviously with the old fishbowl, a beloved of the islanders, you know, it's still the trusting, that's a rubber skirt, so very, very sturdy, not as soft, okay. You can see, one, it doesn't fit my face. If you look at this profile here, my face is way too skinny, and I just can't get it to seal. So even if I suck in through my nose, that's not going to work for me. Whilst the Micro mask, not only being low volume, it fits my face. And so you can see the contour is as perfect it can be for this ugly head. Okay, when I suck in through my nose, it creates a good suction, okay? So my opinion on a mask is my opinion. It's nothing for your face and the mask that you should use. But obviously the fit is the most important thing. The next thing obviously is a low volume, so we don't need to compensate the mask as much as we go deeper. I've been to 65 meters in this mask before switching over to a nose clip version, which makes equalization easier. So it's people have taken them to 100 meters, these masks. They're very good. So for general spearfishing day to day, you can't go past it. With any mask, I recommend getting a mask box, whatever mask you choose to go for. Keep it in a box when you're not using it. Stops you dropping a weight belt on it and separating the fragile plastic between the two bits of glass. Most of the masks, while we say glass, most of the masks on the market are actually glass or tempered lenses, so quite safe. Don't jump in the water head first all the same. There are some, like the Salvimar Fluyd mask. It's got plastic lenses, not glass, and basically they curve around. So it's to achieve an even lower volume mask and sits a lot closer to the face. You don't need to compensate the mask as much as other masks. The plastic and curved lenses can distort the vision a little bit for some people. So yeah, it's important to know what you're in for before you buy your mask. With technology now, we're seeing stuff like the Cressi Calibro. It's got like an anti-fog layer, so it stops when if you're exhaling through your nose, it won't fog up the glass, okay? So that's a pretty cool thing. Still a low volume mask. For myself, it still fits okay, but I've been stubborn and stuck in my ways. I'll probably still stick with my trusty. Other thing with fog, guys, everyone asks, how do you stop fogging your mask? Okay, obviously the oils in our saliva, if we spit in our mask, okay, are going to stop the moisture sticking on the glass. So it's important to spit in your mask before you enter the water, rub it all around, and then wash it out. There is a solution like the sea drops. I actually do use it now. I was a firm believer that you didn't need it for years, but it does actually work, especially if you have fogging issues. So put it on the inside of the glass and even a little bit on the outside if there's a bit of scum in the water. This time of year we've got a lot of algae and things in the water. It does help keep the front clear. There's another product as well, it's a sea buff. So we're always taught when we buy a glass lens mask, which is 99% of the masks on the market, you need to clean the glass before you use it the first time. So use something abrasive like a cream cleanser. This, if you can see, is like a little bit abrasive, this stuff. It's like a toothpaste. You can use toothpaste. Nah, don't eat it. It's not real good. To clean the inside of the glass, you have to rub it quite aggressively to remove that sort of coating when they're manufactured. So any mask will fog up if you don't use something like that first. Okay. Other additions, with people always ask as well, what about tinted masks, Rob? I asked the boys here in Diversworld, what do you think? What's opinions? Opinions are, and facts I should say, we don't condone the use of tinted glass for free diving. The main reason why, when we're escorting our buddies or something to the surface, we want to see what's going on, how they're performing through their dive. You can see a lot in someone's eyes if they're relaxed, scared, or even hypoxic, or low on oxygen. That's another word. Basically, so with a tinted glass, it doesn't allow us to do that. But for spearfishing, a great advantage. Basically, the fish can't see your eyes, and it can add to the camouflage or stealth effect. So advantages and obviously disadvantages for that mask. The Diversworld mask here, it's one of the cheaper masks on the option. Here it's got the GoPro fitting as well, so if you want to do some filming, you don't want a head strap, you can just put it on there. But still a low volume mask. They're all got the quick release straps basically, so not a bad option. So important thing with your mask, back to basics. Mask strap on the back of your head. Okay, just below my bald spot, not too tight. Okay, so basically if you've got a good skirt on the mask, it should do majority of the sealing. The strap is just there to hold it in place from falling off. That's about it from me for masks. Oh, this was my old trusty that I used to use for many years before, the Cressi Evo. They make fantastic masks for different faces, different shapes. The only reason why I went from this mask, although it's maybe one of the most comfortable masks for me, that is too high a volume. So for deeper diving, I had to reduce to a lower volume. So I took this one to 55, and I managed to squeeze another 10 meters out of this one. So, but whatever fits your face, guys. That's the moral of the story. Whatever fits your face and comfort, as long as you don't have the mask too tight, basically, and it's not pushing on your brow. And everyone always asks, what about vision, Rob? You know, should I get a bigger mask to have better vision? The principle's not always linear like that, okay? So for myself, I found with the low volume mask, with the lenses very close to my face, my field of vision is great because I don't have like a porthole effect, basically. The lenses are back here, so the vision is unimpaired. So try that on. You can put your finger down on your chest, see how far you can see it with different masks, and basically your hands to see how interrupted your peripheral vision is. We always use, another good point actually, freediving and spearfishing, we always generally use a black skirt mask, and the reason for this, you can open to use a clear skirt, but for spearfishing and photography, we don't want that light affecting our peripheral vision in that area, so it's more focused out our vision in that area. Another thing people are using, people with long hair, unlike myself, is a mask tamer. Okay, so these are just a cushion basically to stop long hair getting trapped inside the rubber skirt or silicone skirt, which goes behind your hair. It's Velcro adjustment, easy. So it's something to consider as well if you've got long hair or you want to add a little bit more comfort to your everyday snorkeling, diving, spearfishing. Any of the masks you can use for scuba diving as well. If it's a free diving mask, a scuba diving mask is just generally a little bit higher volume because you've got a whole tank of air on your back. You don't really need to worry about adding air to it. But yeah, if you buy a low volume mask like any of these, you can take it easier to travel. It's a bit smaller and you can still scuba dive on it if you wish. That's about it from me, guys, from masks. Once again, Diversworld are here to help with any questions, queries, comments, and yeah, dive safe.